where is this all going? Well, you have people like Elon Musk who believe that for humans, for us to keep up with AI, we are going to have to augment our brains and our bodies. You might have heard of his company Neuralink. So this is like a little robot that attaches to the back of your brain and has little antennas that go in there, similar to a cochlear implant, not that different, but it allows people to control technology via their thoughts alone. And this has just been approved by the FDA for human testing. So you think about that augmented memory. One day we might be able to draw upon all that memory from our brains alone. For people like paraplegics, which is going to be the first audience, this is going to be life-changing. But when you start to think about this coming into a mainstream market, it raises a lot of questions. So for instance, we can no longer take it for granted that our thoughts are private or that our thoughts are our own. What happens if we need an upgrade? What happens if we can't afford an upgrade? Are we looking at a future society that has a class of people who can afford to augment their brains and bodies, a class of people who cannot, with AI sat somewhere in between? Now that gets a bit futuristic, it gets a few bit sci-fi, and we're not quite there yet, but we are having to look at some very real issues when it comes to equality today. For instance, women are disproportionately at risk of being put out of a job by AI. And this is because of the bias that exists within our workforce today, where women are less likely to hold positions of leadership and decision-making. In my industry, technology, only 15% of leadership roles are held by women. We also have our smart speakers today that by default sound feminine. And are we subconsciously training a whole new generation that women are somehow subordinate or assistants? Now, this does not have to be inevitable. There are still humans on the end of these decisions, and we have the ability to say that we are not going to let this technology push us even further backwards when it comes to things like gender equality or even the environment.